Hello, my name is Jessica from Paradiso eLearning, and today I want to talk to you about competencies and learning plans. In this short video, you will learn how to create the competencies framework, create the competencies into the frameworks, create the learning plans based in competencies, assign those competencies to the courses, and assign the competencies to each course activities. To begin, it's necessary to understand what competencies are. So competencies are a set of skills that need to be developed by a user or a group of users. In the last years, competencies-based education or competencies-based learning has become very popular, not only in the educational field, but also in the corporate field. The difference is that the educational institutions use them for certifications and the corporations to measure the employee's performance. So let's start. Competency frameworks are a hierarchical list of competencies, usually defined by the standards body or a central authority. To create a framework, go to Site Administration, Competencies, Competency Frameworks. In this page, you will see displayed all the competency frameworks previously created. And to add a new competency framework, we click on Add New Competency Framework. When creating the framework, you will see some mandatory fields such as the name, the ID number that should be very specific, especially if it is likely that you will have multiple versions of a competency framework on the site at the same time, for instance, when revising the framework each year. The skill is the default skill used when rating a competency. An individual competency in a framework can have a different skill to the framework. When clicking on Configure Skills, displays extra information about those skills for ratings. There should be a default value, which is assigned when the competency is completed by an automated rule. And the list of values that are deemed proficient need to be listed so that the student can see at a glance which competencies have been achieved and which have not. From the taxonomies dropdowns, you can define the words used to describe the competencies in the framework, depending on their depth in the tree. Once you have created the framework, it will appear on the list of frameworks and you can add the competencies. To add the competencies to a framework, you click on the framework name to go to the page where you can manage the competencies for this framework. This page lets you build a tree of competencies that defines your competency framework. To start adding competencies, first click on a node in the tree. In this case, the top node in the tree will be the framework itself. Then you can click on Add Competency. If you have changed the name in the taxonomies, the button will be named differently. For example, Add Concept or Add Indicator or Add a Skill. So let's add a competency. Some mandatory fields will be displayed as well, such as the name, the ID number for this competency in particular, and as well to configure the skill. Once a competency framework has been set up, you can then create a learning plan template. A learning plan template defines a set of competencies which can assign to a group of users. This is better than create an individual learning plans for many different students and means you only need to update the template and the changes will appear for all the students. To create a learning plan, go to Site Administration, Competencies, Learning Plan Templates. Any existing plans are displayed here and you can click the button Add New Learning Plan Template to create a new one. In this case, you will see also the mandatory field. In this case, it would be just the name. You can add a brief description for the learning plan. You can make it visible or no for the students. And you can also configure a due date for this learning plan. To add competencies to a template, click on the learning plan's name. This will take you to the page where you can add edit and remove competencies. It will also show which competencies are not assigned to any course. In this case, we can see here that all the competencies added to this learning plan had already been linked to a specific course.
Once you have the learning plan templates created, the next step would be adding the learning plans. In this case, to add individual users, you just click on Edit, Create Learning Plans, and it will provide you with the option of adding individual users. So you just click on the users that you want to add, and then on Create Learning Plans. A message displayed in the upside of the page will show you how many learning plans have been created. Once you go back to the learning plan templates, you will see how many learning plans have been created. If you have a cohort already created, you can also add it immediately to the learning plan template by clicking on Edit, Add Cohort, and in the drop-down menu, you choose the cohort that you want to add. You click on Add All Cohorts, and it will show you a message of how many learning plans have been created depending on the users on the cohort that you previously had. When checking on the learning plan template again, it will show you how many cohorts you have added to the learning plan template, and in total, how many learning plans have been created.
As previously mentioned, it is also possible to assign the competencies to the course. A course teacher can list which competencies they will be teaching in their course by clicking on the course and then in competencies. As well, a teacher can add or remove competencies from a course and see which competencies have been linked to which activities. And also clicking on the competency name will take the teacher to a grading page for that competency. As well, the competencies can be linked to activities. This means you can make sure that you have activities or resources for every competency in the course by looking at the course competency page and finding unmapped competencies. To do so, it is possible to map more than one competency to an activity by selecting more than once from the settings on the activity that you want to add. You scroll down in the activity until the competencies field, and in the drop down, you will see the course competencies. Here in the drop down menu, you will see all the competencies that have been assigned to the course, and you can choose the one that you need or the ones that you need for this particular activity. It is possible to use activity completion to automatically complete or attach evidence to the course competencies. And the activity will then be shown under the competency on the course competency. For more information, you can visit us at www.paradisosolutions.com, or you can email me at sales@paradisosolutions.com for a free trial or a demo. Thank you very much for watching.